Welcome back everyone, I'm Craven and this is Trails to Azure. We are in America village and there's one thing left we need here to do, and that is talk to the mayor, because if I remember correctly, he has a quest for us because he's worried about his son and some dealings he has been making with a trader, which at first I thought was Harold, but apparently it might be someone else, someone with glasses, so I'm very curious. First, let's see if there's something here. Usually isn't, but we do have to check. And why don't they remove this piece of concrete? I don't know, it would be much easier access to the house. Let's first check upstairs. Oh, Derek hardly ever comes home these days. I hope he hasn't got himself mixed up in anything dangerous. Oh, careful. What does my fool of a son think he's doing? It is concerning, yes. I believe there's a possibility he's been... Oh, hello, Chief Toltai. You called for the special support section? Oh, and Mr. Hayworth is here too. Ah, there you all are. I've been waiting. Well, I take it you've seen the request? Thanks for coming. Sure thing. Why are you here though, Mr. Hayworth? As it happens, he has a stake in this particular problem as well. Well, after talking things over, Chief Tolta and I decided it would be prudent of us to consult with the SSS. Considering the circumstances, we thought the situation called for a professional investigation. If that's the case, this must be a serious issue. I recall the description mentioning that this had to do with your son, correct? Yes. It is a very complicated matter. I can brief you all on the details if you're ready to accept the request. Is now a good time? We are ready to help, as always. We're ready to help, Chief Tolta. Tell us everything we need to know. Thank you, SSS. I am in your debt once again. As for what's going on, my son Derek has been acting strangely lately. I get the sense he has some kind of sinister plan in the works. Sinister? Is it really that bad? Well, I don't know the details yet. As a matter of fact, I don't know what's going through that boy's head at all. You see, not long ago, Derek told Harold that America would no longer be doing business with him. Really? Why would he do that? Haven't you always been on excellent terms with the village, Mr. Hayworth? Yes. I've done my best to be kind to the people here ever since we started doing business. I came to see Chief Tolta today because I was afraid there has been some kind of misunderstanding. Now let me guess, the Chief here was just as out of the loop as you were. Am I right? Yes, you are. We never intended to wrong Mr. Hayworth like this. Losing a customer in him would have been a grave loss for our village. I am sure my son is fully aware of that as well. This certainly is strange. What reason could Derek have to go over your head and make a decision like that so rashly? That's exactly what Harold and I have been discussing. In doing so, a certain questionable individual came to mind. Derek has been meeting with a foreigner from out of state recently. A foreigner? Well, we don't have many details on him for the moment. All we know is that he and Derek have been talking behind closed doors. Nothing stays suspicious, quite like a secret meeting. Quite right. As such, my request to you is to investigate this foreigner for us. If he truly is plotting some sort of nefarious scheme, we need to put a stop to it at once. I apologize if this comes off as rude, but is something like this truly worth submitting a support request for? Surely the logical approach would be to simply speak with your son yourself. Don't think that's our call, Theotot. I am embarrassed to say so, but the young lady is correct. Dirk and I have been at odds on how best to run the village for a long time. I've tried to confront him about this, but I could never get an answer out of him. As his father, it pains me to admit it. No wonder you decided to consult us. Well, that about brings us up to speed. We'll begin investigating immediately. I was thinking we could start by interviewing each of the villagers. feel free to do so. Incidentally, Derek and Elkin are delivering produce to the city right now. You may be better off speaking with them last. Thank you for looking into this, SSS. I hope you can get to the bottom of things. Well, we'll do everything we can, Mr. Hayworth. Stranger danger. Oh, that doesn't sound well to begin with. Alright. It doesn't matter how I rationalize it. Derek's secret meeting with that foreigner are exceedingly suspicious. If this does turn out to be a nefarious plot, we need to put a stop to this at once. Best of luck with your investigation. Well, I've met with Derek quite often while doing business in this village, and every time he struck me as a polite, diligent young man. If he has indeed gotten himself wrapped up in something unsavory, I want to help him. Please look into this, SSS. I hope you can get to the bottom of this. We will get to the bottom of this. If it's gonna be a good one or a bad one, I don't know yet, but we'll figure it out. And we did hear somewhere that there was a new truck in the town as well. Probably through the same guy. Maybe he struck a deal for new modern equipment. For having the right to trade at this village? Maybe. Oh, Derek hardly ever comes by these days. Yeah, okay, so he isn't reacting to the quest. I'm hoping the rest of the village does. The foreigner who's been coming by is quite a cheerful fella. He's never without a smile. Something about it really puts me at ease. Excuse me, I have a few questions for you. Lloyd asked about the foreigner who has been visiting America Village recently. Oh, him. Well, if I had to describe the man, I might say considerate. Considerate? Can you elaborate? Well, once he was passing by the children as they were playing, and they accidentally got his clothes dirty. Rather than raising a fuss, he paid it no mind. In fact, he even gave them some candy. I didn't decide whether to thank, compliment, or apologize to him. He had me speechless. Interesting. Well, thanks for your time. If I had to describe the foreigner who's been coming to our village in one word, it would be considerate. Anyone so kind to our children couldn't be at all bad. Well, we'll talk to the children and see what they think about it. This foreign guy who's been coming to the village gave us some candy. I thought he'd yell at us for getting his clothes all dirty, but he didn't. Man, it's a good thing nice people like him still exist. There's something up with that monocle guy. He acts nice and smiles all big, but his eyes look like they're hiding something. A monocle. I've watched a lot of movies, a lot of animes and stuff like that. There's never is someone with a monocle that isn't a villain. So there's our first red flag already. Mom spanked Camille the other day. His butt was all red like an apple. Excuse me, I have a few questions for you. Lloyd asked the foreigner who's been visiting America Village recently. Ah, him. He's got a keen eye, I can tell you that much. What do you mean by that? Well, the man's become infatuated with our honey. He was raving about it being a surefire hit, that he could sell across the entire continent. Sell across the entire continent. What is he, a trader or something? I've never heard him outright say it, but that seems likely. With discerning taste like that, I'm sure he's already made a name for himself. I'd be thrilled if my grandson were to follow his example. Is that so? Well, now we know the dude's some kind of merchant. Ah, that's good information to have. Thank you for your help. Ah, not a problem. Feel free to talk to me again anytime. That fellow I mentioned has taken quite a shining to our honey. He must have built a name for himself as a merchant outside of Crossbell. How could he not have? Oh, there's been a guy in the village lately who dresses to the nines. He told Graham that I was such a capable lad. Of course Graham was thrilled. I could tell he was just flattering me though. Yeah, so he's trying to manipulate situations so they would look at him favorably. Thus like another red flag, but could also be a sign that he's actually a merchant. Because as a merchant, you want people to think of you favorably, so they're more inclined to trade with you. Which is not at all illogical from that perspective. I bought a book called True Mysteries of Crossbell from the library. This story of a man searching for his lost hat gave me chills. Well, that's a spooky one, alright. Still, if you don't have a hat, how can you possibly cry out to people asking them to find it? And now it's not scary anymore. Excuse me, I have a few questions for you. Lloyd asked about the foreigner who's been visiting America Village recently. Ah, the man who's been staying here and on and off. Well, he is pleasant enough to be around, very polite at least. Polite. I see. And would you happen to know this man's name? Let me think. I believe it was Minith? Or at least that's what he wrote in the guest registry. Minith. At least we know we have a name to work with now. Is there anything else you can tell us about this individual? Well, he wasn't too chatty, so there's not much to tell. He did call Derek up to his room a couple of times to talk about something or another. That's pretty much all I know. Sounds like the secret meeting she told us been worrying about. Yeah, not the most game-changing information, but it's something. Thank you for your help. Oh, not a problem. I'm happy to be of service. But if you really want to thank me, why don't you order some food while you're here? Always up for business, isn't he? Alright, so we know it's called Minith, and he's holding meetings up in his room with Derek instead of here on the floor itself. Because if you're like having a business talks about dealings and things like that, you could hold it here. There's nothing too secretive about it, unless the goods they're talking about may be a bit nefarious. Maybe they're about discussing to, I don't know, transport drugs or something. Very curious. Oh, a nice man has been hanging around here lately. I hear he's from a famous foreign company, but I've never heard him brag about it. It's nice to know that there are still some people with class in this world. Evidently that foreigner's been around the block a few times. He immediately sensed my love for Celia and cheered me on. What a great guy. Yeah, all this news, it's only making me suspicious of him for some reason. And that does it for the sheets. Before I had Stefan, I always want to be a maid at a hotel. While helping out at the inn, I have to say it's enjoyable work. Because you haven't seen the foreigner, apparently. Well, we need a little bit more information than that. Oh. I think that's it. Okay, we have more information to go off on now that we've spoken to the villagers. This man is named Minith, and he believed to be a foreign merchant. He's supposedly a kind man as well. The type that's courteous, patient, and caring with children. On the other hand, we don't know why he's here in the first place, and that's suspicious in and of itself. You make a good point. Yes, we never did learn of motive in any of those conversations. The biggest thing that stands out is him talking with the village chief's son in secret. That doesn't pass the smell test. Well, I'm inclined to agree. It's incongruent with everything else we heard. I say we should follow up on that. Wait, look over by the entrance. A shiny new truck. Oh, that's Elkin, the one who went with Derek into the city. He must have just gotten back. Let's go speak with him. Yes, let's. And let's talk to him about his new shiny truck. Oh, excuse me? Elkin, right? We've got a couple of things we'd like to ask you. Huh? Oh, yeah. What can I do for you? Let me guess. You came to ask about my shiny new orbital truck here? No, I'm sorry to disappoint. Aw, really? But it's the Vern Company's latest model. Minith gave it to me for real cheap. Hold on, just a moment. By Minith, you mean the foreigner who's been visiting the village recently, correct? Just how cheap are we talking here? Get this. I got it for low price of just 50,000 mira. Only 50,000 mira? Well, what I wouldn't give to be that lucky just once. Does the goddess have it in for me or something? Easy no. I can see you turning as green as your hat. Sorry, force of habit. Moving past Noel's mechanophilia, the average market value of a new truck should be nearly 500,000 mira, which makes the amount you paid exorbitantly low. That would be a 90% discount. It sounds more like charity than a bargain. Well, he said the price cut was so we could make our work easier without breaking our budget. He and Derek has been working out some sort of plan. I guess it's coming along? The minute I tell you, my hat's off to him. Plan? Oh shoot, Derek said I'm not supposed to talk about it. Pretend you didn't hear that anyway. This minute guy is the real deal. So you say. Wait a minute. Did you come back alone, Elkin? Chief told us that you and Derek went to the city together to deliver produce. We did, but Derek told me he'd catch a bus back to the village later. He said he had some kind of business to take care of at the hotel in the entertainment district. Another meeting with Minute, I'm guessing. Hey Lloyd, this could be our chance. To speak with them face to face? Probably, yeah. We should head over and check things out. Thank you for speaking with us, Elkin. This was very helpful. Oh, no problem. Not that I get what you're after, but hey, good luck all the same. Yeah, it sounds extremely shady. I still think it's gonna be transporting some illegal goods of some kind. That's the first thought I'm having in my head. And we know at the hotel there was a room that was locked. It's probably where we need to be. If you're looking for Derek, he's meeting with Minute in Crossbell City. They should be at the hotel in the entertainment district. Now then, since I've got a brand new spanking truck, I've got to do my darnest to keep it nice. That would be preferable, definitely. Alright, let's go back to the village. I mean, back to the city. And go to the entertainment district and see what those two are all about. Because there's something shady going on with that Minute fellow. And for some reason, I think it's somebody we know, is just using a different name. Black Cat Trucks. That's usually the Mafia that uses those. Suspicious. I may be Crossbell, but I used to work in a hotel in the Empire. Maybe I shouldn't say this out loud, but the downside was having to cater to Erebonian nobles. It got old fast. My career's been a lot less stressful now that I've moved back home. Alright, not talking here. Alright, we'll meet up again tomorrow then. Good talking to you as always. Huh? Wait, aren't you? Pardon us. You're Derek from America Village, correct? That's me? There's something I can help you with? I probably should have opened with this, but we're with the Crossbell Police Special Support Section. I have a few questions we'd like to ask. Is that so? Let me guess, my father sent you here, didn't he? So he called in the police, huh? Oh, that's just rich. He had his reasons. I already know his game. He's snooping around to find out what I'm up to, right? Well, I have nothing to hide. Ask me anything you want. Not the reaction I was expecting. Well, I'll get straight to the point then. We were told that you've been meeting in secret with a man named Minute recently. Would you mind explaining why? Whatever. It's not as though my father can do anything about it. Minute has been helping me out with a little project of sorts. It's all part of my plan to revitalize the village. Revolutionize the village? Why would you keep something so important from your father? Well-intentioned or not, doesn't it concern him as much as it does you? Well, I've tried talking to my father about this kind of thing more times than I can count. All he ever says is I've lost sight of our ideals, and that making drastic changes won't solve anything. But if things continue the way they are, a rural village like ours has no future. Real, meaningful reform is the only way for us to keep America alive. My father doesn't understand that one bit. I see. And it was from there that you encountered this Minith character? Well, unlike my father, he's actually willing to listen to my ideas. In fact, he helped me discover a huge opportunity for our village, apiary. I plan on working with him to launch a major enterprise in the near future. You what? Can you even hear yourself right now? Mind your own beeswax, that's all I have to say to you. You got where you came from, right? I need to get back to the village, if you don't mind. That was rather curt. Yeah, he totally blew us off. Hey, are any of you thinking what I'm thinking? Maybe we could try speaking with this Minith guy for ourselves. Good call. Maybe it'll give us a better idea of what the Jamoke is all about. What do you say we show ourselves in? Oh, definitely. I'm very curious to see who this Minith fellow is. Something in my head and with the truck outside is telling me it's the Mafia. And if it is, it cannot be anything good. Alright, here goes nothing. Who is it? I didn't order any room service. Excuse me, we're looking for a Mr. Minith? I apologize for bothering you, but we're at the Crossbell Police Special Support Section. We have a couple of questions to ask you. Oh dear. You're police officers? Oh, why didn't you say so sooner? Come in, the door's unlocked. This feels almost too easy somehow. Maybe he's more of a wheeler dealer than we think. Alright, we're coming in. Oh yes, he doesn't look suspicious at all with that monocle. Pleased to make your acquaintance. I'm Minith. What brings you here today? Like I said, we have a few simple questions we'd like you to answer. Will that be alright? Oh, but of course, I would be delighted to help an officer of the law. Was there some kind of trouble in the area perhaps? Oh, not exactly, no. This pertains to you specifically. We want to know more about you and what brought you to America Village. Could you start by telling us about yourself? Well, this is a surprise. Well, but seeing as you are police officers, I suppose I have no reason not to cooperate. To reiterate, my name is Minith. I am a corporate executive. My responsibilities range from product development to sales and operations. I've been visiting America Village to secure an important business deal on behalf of the Quincy Company. Did you say the Quincy Company? Not ringing any bells personally. You heard of them, Mademoiselle? In a sense, the Quincy Company is a famous international confectioner, and they're one of the most prominent names in their field. You can even get their products here in Crossbell. Yeah, that does sound familiar. I think I used to buy their chocolates as a kid. I always paid more attention to what was in the wrapper than what was on them. Oh, that's quite alright, young man. I too was that what one might call the brand blind in my youth. You see, despite working for the company, I've never been one for sweets. It was my long-standing reputation as an irrefusable salesman, in fact, that led me to my current position. My apologies. I didn't mean to get us off track with my personal milestones. Oh, it's fine. We're the ones who asked. So, about that business deal with America Village you mentioned? Would it happen to have anything to do with Derek, the son of the village chief? He told us that he has something to do with the future of the village. Ah, did you know? Well, in that case, I suppose there's no sense in keeping those details on the wraps. Yes, Derek and I have indeed built a strong working relationship over these past several days. We were aware of that much. Could you elaborate? But of course. The Quincy Company is constantly seeking out new opportunities to grow our confectionery business. As such, the head office tasked me with a project to that effect. Our goal is to gain a foothold from which we can expand into Crossbell. In other words, you want to establish a subsidiary of the Quincy Company here in our state. Precisely. I began my inquiry by paying a visit to the department store in the city, and there I found it. The luxurious high-grade honey produced in America Village. Oh, that honey is made with the lotus flower from the village's fields. I do recall Mr. Haywood praising it for its quality. And he should. The honey is the product of nature's bounty, passed down through the ages for generations. Seeing those fields was like the goddess herself showing me the way to a brand new confectionery venture. I called it the American Honey Company. The American Honey Company? Not exactly pushing the envelope, but I won't deny it's pretty catchy. Well, we plan on selling candies made primarily from Eureka Village's delectable honey. But in order to do so, we need the full cooperation of the villagers themselves. And so, approaching the incoming chief, Derek, with a most magnificent proposal. I asked if he would like to oversee the construction of the factory as well as the new business enterprise. You offered to make Derek the manager of a Quincy company subsidiary? Naturally, my company would make full use of its sales and marketing expertise. The fields too would be overseen by our staff. We don't want to cause trouble for the villagers, after all. On the contrary, we wish only to see their lives burdened. Where do you intend on building a factory, though? Well, after discussing a great many possibilities, I've settled on utilizing the village's private property on Old America Road. Since it has only been used for storage, Derek was readily willing to agree to the arrangement. No doubt almost anybody would be under those terms, especially with how keen Derek is on revolutionizing the village. Everyone comes out a winner, isn't that just swell? I'm so glad you understand. In my eyes, Derek's talents and strong sense of responsibilities are more than enough to qualify him for the position. With that, I've divulged all that I can. Does that answer your questions? It actually does. Thanks for your cooperation. I think we have a much better grasp of what's going on in the village now. Is there anything in particular that you would like to discuss further? Oh, not at the moment, no. Sorry to take up your time. We'll be going now. Not a problem at all, officers. Come again anytime. Please, do take care. Where do we even begin? This is quite a plan they've put together. Evidently, Minute is more shrewd of a man than we took him for. Well, the whole spiel took some untangling, but it sounds like it could pay off big time. Seems too good to be true, honestly. At any rate, I think we got all the answers we're looking for. Yeah, let's head back to Eureka Village. Chief told us going to want to hear about this. I don't believe this. Minith is with the Quincy company? And then there's this whole American Honey Company business. Well, this is quite the extensive plan they have, and it involves building a factory on the village private property, no less. Never did I take Derek as a type to pursue something like this. Has Derek returned to the village yet, by the way? That's right. I don't believe I see him around. He said he'd be returned to the village when we ran into him at the hotel. Well, I must confess that Derek doesn't come home very often these days. Instead, he's been renting a room for himself at the Ash Tree Inn. I understand Minute has been staying there as well. Perhaps that was Derek's reason for relocating. That way, his plans to industrialize our land could proceed without my knowing. What a shameful excuse for a father I am. I wouldn't be so sure about that. Yeah, because to be honest, Derek is in the wrong here too. Because industrializing the village? That's a major undertaking. You cannot do that without the village consent. 100%. And especially the current chief. That is very bad form. What if moving into the ash tree was actually Minute's idea rather than Derek's? Maybe it was him who was trying to keep you from catching wind of what's going on. What do you mean? Well, I'll let you dashing leaders here handle the details. Well, ignoring that first part, I'll do my best to explain. Is there something more to this than we realize, Lloyd? Well, keep in mind that I'm only speculating, but I have my suspicions about this Minute character. What do you mean? Well, the plan he laid out for us would supposedly benefit everyone involved. Eureka Village would gain a new industry, while the Quincy Company gains a subsidiary in a market they want to expand in. At a glance, it all seems well and good. Almost too good to be true, don't you think? Well, now that you mention it. As another point of concern, considering the ridiculously low price at which Minute sold a new orbital truck to Elkin. In this context, we can think of it as an upfront investment. An orbital truck isn't something you give to someone at random. Not at the prices they go for. I've never heard of one selling for only 50,000 mira until now. What you two are getting at is that he knows he's going to make that mira back, doesn't he? That is very strange indeed. A company as large as Quincy wouldn't normally invest this much capital into an unproven startup. They wouldn't they? I don't like where this is headed. Well, it leads me to believe that this Minute has an ulterior motive, one that guarantees to make him profit. This is all just conjecture, of course, but I would suggest that you keep what we're saying in mind. I will. We'll have to be very careful about how we approach this matter. And kudos on the fine investigative work, SSS. As I feel as though I finally understand what's going on here. Thank you for the help. Well, happy to, Chief Tolta. Are you saying you can handle it from here? We could continue investigating if you like. That's alright. You've done more than enough for now. And as soon as I heard about their plans to build a factory on our property, I knew I could never support such a thing. I'll have to speak with Dirk later and try to persuade him. Not just as his father, but as a chief. Perhaps that would be for the best. Well, we'll be excusing ourselves then. Because there's another thing, isn't it? Because it's their private property. And wouldn't the chief be the one that owes that land and not Derek? Yes, Derek is related, but it doesn't mean that he owns that land. He might be in the future when he becomes chief, but right now, he isn't. Yeah, like I said, on the surface it seems legit, but it doesn't feel right, keeping it all secretive and stuff like that. It's almost like that the Quincy company, assuming that it is actually the Quincy company, wants to keep this in the background until it's finalized and the chief cannot do anything about it. And if you want to do it like that, then there has to be something going on that we don't know. Something a bit more shady. Because, let's be honest, how many profit can you make with candy and honey? Don't hesitate to follow up with us if there's anything else we can do. Of course, we'll be sure to call you again if the need arises. Stranger danger completed. Fantastic work, SSS. Thanks to your efforts, I have a much more clearer picture of what's been happening. I have to speak with Dirk later and try to persuade him, not just as his father, but as a chief. I don't know what this Minute character's after, but for now, Chief told that I will continue to exercise caution in this matter. Thank you for looking into this for us, SSS. Depending on how this plays out, we need your help again. Oh, I can guarantee you'll need our help again. Cause, like I said, something feels off about all of this. And when we find out what it is, then they'll definitely need our help again. Alright, that was the side quest. Does that mean we have anything else left? A taste of Crossbell, but we know we have to be at Ursula in 2 days before we can complete this one, so that's all there is to it. We still have the stranger danger we can report before handling the cryptid business. So do we want to go back to Crossbell first and complete that before heading over to the boathouse for our first cryptid? I think I want to do that. And of course, when we do want to make a quick save. But and having said that, I want to check if that music box is actually something new for Ellie. It is. Does this look alright? A new decoration was added to Ellie's room. While at the SS building, Lloyd and the others decided to take a break from their duties. After a cursory check-in with the CPD headquarters, they each retired to their respective rooms to rest. May I come in, Ellie? Oh, Lloyd, yes you may. Is it time for us to leave soon? Just about. HQ didn't need anything else in particular from us today. Everyone's getting ready though, so don't feel like you have to rush. Oh, I see you've added some new decor to the room. It's all kind of happened on its own, really. I'd been trying to cut down on clutter by taking my old books and such with me on my trips home too. Still, This is way more put together than my place. Sure, you may have more stuff, but it's perfectly complements your room. Oh hey, is that a music box? Yes it is. It's a Refills Company brand antique. I found it at Imelda's shop. The unit place brought up so many old memories that I purchased it right then and there. Would you like to listen to it for a bit? Sure, I can't say I'm not curious. It is such a nice soothing tone, doesn't it? The Refilled Company is better known as an Erebonian-based instrument manufacturer, but their music boxes are quite popular as well. I used to own a much smaller one that played this exact same song when I was a little girl. I brought it with me while studying abroad, only to end up losing it. Ah, I see. Could it have been a memento from her parents? I'd given up on replacing it since they were no longer in production. So I was practically beside myself when I found out Imelda had one in stock. I can only imagine. You never really know what you might find in there, huh? So I've discovered. Now then, shall we leave, Lloyd? Sounds good to me. Complete Ellie's decoration collection. Nice. It's a music box. Still the black stuff animal is not being put in here. I have no idea why. Oh well. We'll figure it out at some point. By the way, did we already get the kid some food this chapter? Yes, we did. Alright, let's get down and report our stranger danger.
Crossbell 警察です。それでは報告を承りますね。さすが皆さんです。報告は以上ですね。ではまた依頼を達成したらよろしくお願いします。
Alright, since we are so close to my normal end time for my episode, I want to save the cryptid until next time. I was originally planning to do it now, but that side quest took a little bit longer than I anticipated. So why not play with someone new in our list, Maribel. It's not going too great, is it? Uh-oh. Ah, come on. So close yet so far. Yeah, that didn't go too well, did it? Alright. Let's quit this one. Oh well. I do like it, but I had to be in a certain mindset in order to play well, and I think it's gonna get harder and harder. At some point I need to figure out what we can win by beating everyone in Pom Pom Party, next to a possible achievement, of course. Alright, for now, we're gonna leave it here, and next time we're gonna go after the cryptids, because right now we have everything done except the taste of Crossbell, which we do know we need to wait 2 days in order to get the last dish, and that's also why it's on a long time running. So we know that there is one on the Ursula sandbank where we need to be for the cryptid, and the other one is at the boathouse. So we know where we need to be, we just need to go there and beat the living crap out of it. If we can, of course. So, for now, between episodes, I will grind a little bit if I can, upgrade a few more pieces of our equipment, and maybe unlocking some more slots on our orphans. Because everything's level 1, we still need everything on level 2 before the end of the game, and maybe we can have 1 or 2 extra 80k accessories that we want to replace. Because right now, only Randy doesn't have one. So I definitely want to find one for him. Maybe the 100 strength would be a nice one for him to have. And other than that, deep ochres for everyone would be a great replacement for the seal and mute one. But like I said, it's a gigantic investment, and the further in the game we are, the easier it will be to change it. But the earlier we do, the more beneficial it will be at that time. But we'll figure it out. So for now, I wish you all a great night, morning, day, wherever you are, and if you're still here, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and be back next time. It is finally time for us to hunt down some cryptids. See you then, bye bye.